From NBC News, this is Today.
Al, thanks. This morning on today's Daily Dose, oh, my aching feet. An estimated 1 in 6 Americans are not putting their best foot forward because they're suffering from problems ranging from bunions to arthritis to diabetes. And we've got NBC's chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, here with some advice on how to relieve your pain and to stay healthy. Nancy, good morning. Here's something I never would have put together. You say that our feet are a glimpse into our overall health.
Well, you just hit on one of the big things, diabetes. Diabetes affects the blood circulation, the nerves in your feet. So if you're a diabetic and you have wounds that aren't quite healing or you have an ingrown toenail, it can absolutely reflect your overall state of well-being. In fact, the biggest problem, though, for most of us is that our feet hurt. It's because we pound them to death. And there are a lot of doctors making a lot of money because of that. It's a $2 billion a year industry just to fix hurt feet.
Because this is the part that is most injured of any other part of our body? Or
26 bones, 33 joints. It's a complicated little area that we pound.
Okay, let's get to our questions.
Okay.
And the first one comes from outside. We've got Carla and her sister Kevy, and they're visiting from Missouri. Hey, women, what's your question?
Ready? Hi, Dr. Nancy.
Hi, you guys.
I'm Kevy, and this is my sister Carla. We're from St. Louis.
I was born in St. Louis.
My sister's always been my hero because she exercises every day. But recently, she started having really, really bad foot pain. Now, she's gone and bought all these gimmicks, different splint to wear at night, special shoes. She spent a couple $100, but she's still got this really bad foot pain, and they say it's plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis. The fascia is like a canvas sheath, and it holds the bottom of the sole of the foot and then wraps up around the heel. And there are a couple of things that happen. One is that as we get older, we lose sort of fat pads on our heel, and depending on, especially athletes, when they pound their feet a lot, that fascia can become inflamed. First thing to do is to make sure that you're taking basic anti-inflammatories like Advil or aspirin if you can tolerate it. Make sure you're wearing the right shoes. Get out of the shoes that you're wearing all the time and rotate them. And then simple things, resting, elevating. If those things don't make it better, then you can go into things like orthotics and see real foot doctors. Most of the time, this can be treated conservatively. But the fact that she's a runner and an athlete makes her more prone.
All right, let's go to our next question. We want to thank, by the way, Carla and Kevy for that question. Thank you so much. But we've got Linda now. She's on the telephone from Concord, California. Hey, Linda, what's your question?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. When I go outside and it's cold, like 65 degrees and below, my toes get numb, actually so do my fingers at times, and the blood seems to have left them. It turns kind of whitish yellow. Any idea what's happening?
Yeah, you may well have something called Raynaud's phenomenon or Raynaud's syndrome. It's R-A-Y.
All these problems so long and hard to say.
N-A-U-D. That's the word you have to remember. R-A-Y-N-A-U-D. And it is a circulatory problem. And interestingly, if it's bad enough and you live in a cold area, you can consider this a disability. You could even get a placard to park closer to work. If your fingers and toes are turning white or purple, you're not getting enough circulation. And it means that you may have to wear those little mitt warmers, you may have to wear an extra pair of socks. And it really is a vascular problem. Now, once you have it, you have it. So you have to work hard to make sure that it doesn't get worse.
Okay, thank you so much, Linda. We've got an email question, and it's about bunions. And the question reads, I'm one of those people who suffers foot problems. Bunions, it is such a horrible shooting pain. It's terrible. I feel that all I can wear is flip-flops.
Right.
Please help.
So look, this is to some extent runs in families, but you and I know what this is. It is the first joint that juts out, and you can see it in women who are addicted to their high heels. We put tons of pressure on our foot, and especially that forefoot, and bunions hurt. The best thing to do if you have a mild one is get out of those high heels. Get in a shoe that has a wide toe box, that has some stability. But you know what? That's a big, big surgical problem if it goes too far.
Speaking of flip-flops, a lot of young people, teenagers, wear flip-flops sort of all the time.
All the time.
Problem with that?
Well, you know, you need arch support. If you're going to wear them, wear the leather ones. The ones that are really thin and pound the pavement, no matter how stylish, are not meant for good foot support.
Okay, we've got Mary Lou on the phone from New York City, and she's got a question. Hey, Mary Lou.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking my call. I've been diagnosed with Morton's neuroma between the third and fourth toes on my right foot. The burning pain is excruciating. I've tried orthotic inserts, cortisone shots, and finally now a series of alcohol solution shots, and nothing has helped alleviate the pain. I understand that there are a couple of types of surgeries that are not always successful and occasionally exacerbate the problem.
Well, a neuroma is a benign tumor of the nerve. It is a lump, and it is painful, and especially if it's between toes like a Morton's neuroma, there just isn't enough space. And sometimes, and I would have to say a lot of times, sort of the early treatment of cortisone shots and rest doesn't help. So this is when you really want to see an orthopedic surgeon who specializes in feet and see about having that removed. Most likely that's going to be a surgical problem. But, you know, it goes to something, a core problem for all of this, and that is we neglect our feet so easily. It's important to remember, change your shoes, go barefoot around the house if you can. Pedicures, while we think that they're sort of frou-frou, are really good hygiene for your feet. They make your feet healthy, and then wash them every day. Make sure that they're clean. If you just change those things, that basic preventive work can get rid of a lot of these problems.
You know, the underlying thing that we've not really talked that much about is sort of the shoes we choose to
and
wear.
you know, and let me just say that I don't want to have everyone think I'm a hypocrite because I have these on. They've never seen a sidewalk. You know, they are for in here only. But I want to show what,
because I see you
in
your big clunky
I wear
shoes.
clogs.
Yeah, me
so
too.
We have Katie and Evan, and one of the ways you can tell if you have the right footwear, take your foot out and look at it next to the shoe. Katie's toe box, that area between both toes, fits and looks like it fits right into her shoe. Evan's, you can see, while the gold high heels are glamorous, you can see that the shoe itself is narrower than her foot.
Right.
9 out of 10 women wear shoes that don't fit. 8 out of 10 women complain that their shoes hurt them. You know what? Those are just dumb odds for smart women.
That's a very nice way to end it. Thank you so much for showing us your pretty feet and shoes. And now we know a new phrase called toe box.
Yes, right.
Make sure the toe box is large enough for your feet. All right, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, thank you so much. And coming up, one expert.